What's up, pet people? My name is Lexia and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing the first of a new little video series I'm going to be doing, and that's going to be called Things You Need to Know Before. Specifically, today's video, we're going to be talking about things you need to know before bringing a hognose into your home. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Getting right into today's video. If you're new to this channel, this is my hognose. He's a Western hognose. His name is Wilbur. It's kind of a pun on the fact he's a hognose, Wilbur the pig, get it? Anyway, Wilbur has been with me for almost 3 years this summer. It will be 3 years. And he has been an absolutely amazing snake to have. But there are some things that I wish I knew more in depth before getting him. And I'm going to share not only those facts, but some other facts that I feel are necessary for hognose owners or new hognose owners to know before they get them. So the first thing that I'm going to discuss with you guys is hognoses are not really showy snakes. Meaning, if you want a snake that you can look in the enclosure and them constantly be out and moving and doing things to entertain you, this is not the snake to get. Hognoses are primarily burrowing snakes, as you can see by him trying to burrow into my hand, and they are not out very often. More oftentimes than not, whenever I look in his enclosure, I'll see his tunnels, but I won't see him. The only time that I really see Wilbur is whenever I'm feeding him and or cleaning the enclosure. So if you want a showy snake, hognoses are not a snake I would go for. Hognoses, due to the fact that they are very primarily burrowing snakes, also do not require any extra light sources. Many people will provide UVB for hognoses, but sometimes it can be overstimulating to them. In fact, I had a subscriber of mine message me a while back about the fact that their hognose was not eating. I did mention to them that sometimes bright lights, such as UVB, can overstimulate baby hognoses, especially if they were bred in something like a bin. Once they removed that light, their hognose started eating like no problem. But it's one thing that you need to keep in mind. Similarly to the light point, you need to talk to your breeder or find a reputable breeder where you can get your hognose and make sure that you are not getting a wild-caught hognose, because those can be harder to tame down, and I don't recommend getting wild-caught animals anyway. Another thing that I think people need to know and take into account whenever looking into hognoses is that they come in many different morphs and or color variations. This means that you don't have to just get a wild type hognose like Wilbur. You can get a lot of different variations, which also means the price varies. Of course, the low end prices are the wild type hognoses like the one I have, but they can get a lot pricier depending on the variation you want. So whenever you're looking at them, please take into account the type of morph you want, and or if you would just be better off getting a normal wild type morph. I have been looking into getting a few different morphs as well as Wilbur just to have, and as I said, they're amazing, they're super easy to take care of, so I personally want a couple more of them in different variations. But if you have a smaller budget but still want a hognose, I would definitely look at the wild type morph to begin. A 100% must-know fact for hognose owners, in my opinion, is that these little guys are escape artists. I have had Wilbur escape one time on me. It was the most terrifying thing in my entire life. Thankfully, found him very shortly after. But these guys love escaping their enclosures, so make sure you have a lock on your enclosure. Make sure that there's no holes in the screens of your enclosure. I recommend a top opening enclosure for these guys just because it makes it a little hard for them to get out. Make sure it has, as I said, locks and just no holes in it whatsoever, because if there's a hole, they will find a way to get out and then you will have a heart attack because you lost your snake. With all pets, you need to keep in mind that they have different personalities, hognoses especially. Some of them can be okay with handling, and some of them can be rather bitey when handling, especially whenever they're juveniles and or babies. Whenever you begin handling your hognose, you need to keep this in mind, as well as the fact that they are considered to be a rear-fanged venomous snake. This means that if you get bit by one, which might happen, I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, but if you get bit by one, there's a chance that you can have a reaction to it and swell up. Now, you don't always need to expect to be bit by one, But whenever you first begin handling your hognose and don't quite know its temperament yet, it's a good thing to have a plan just in case you do. You need to have a doctor and or hospital nearby that you know a route to get to whenever you start holding them, just in case you have a reaction. These reactions can be anything from, moderate to severe, where you have your entire hand and or bit location swell up. This can be very painful due to the fact that it's constricting your blood vessels in your hand and or the area where you were bit, and it's something that is very uncomfortable. Being bitten by snakes in general is uncomfortable, but whenever you have a reaction with it, I can assume it's even more so. Okay guys, so you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you were able to learn something or pick up a little bit of information that you didn't know about hognoses before, just so you kind of have an idea of things to know before getting a hognose. I absolutely adore Wilbur. I love him. Hognoses are so easy to take care of in my mind, and they are definitely something I recommend to anyone who's looking into a small beginner snake that is really easy to take care of. So as I said, once again, thank you guys for watching. I am so grateful for all the love and support you give me, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye!